Hello. Okay, so this is quite a hard one to talk about, and it's not actually one of my favorite. Like, I fucking hate this area, and it makes me feel really weird and gross. And yet, I think it's quite important to talk about. So, I wanted to talk about like fascist beauty standards and how they seem to sexualize youth and teens, essentially. So, fascist beauty standards are like a combination of like patriarchal, colonial, white supremacist, and capitalist beauty standards that have been globalized, and it typically seems to take the form of like prioritizing whiteness, prioritizing slim bodies, prioritizing um, like a certain aesthetic, like straight hair, and like that women are kind of more valued if they're like small and petite. And in my opinion, and in many other people's opinions, it's very like sexualizing children and teens in terms of those beauty standards. Like the idea that having a flat stomach is prioritized, shaving your legs, like being like passive and meek as a femme person, like it's fucking creepy. And there are like arguments out there that, Hollywood, for example, was set up as a way to broadcast out to the rest of the world certain standards of living, standards of beauty, expectations, cultural expectations, and including, it seems like lots of gross men, older men, have set these creepy beauty standards which sexualize youth and teenagers, essentially. And like another thing that's really difficult is like most of us, if not all of us, have been brainwashed into this culture. So at the same time as like fighting against these beauty standards in my head, like I'm also impacted by these beauty standards as well. And I'm not saying like everyone has to stop shaving their legs like immediately or anything like that. Yeah, I think it's more nuanced and complicated than that. And I think it's important for us to fight against this and to take a stand against this because it's fucking disgusting and it's really not okay. Like, for multiple reasons. It's not just for the youth aspects, but also in like the racist aspect, and there's so many aspects of it that's important. Um, yeah. And like, there's stuff like the pigtail theory that like people get more attention when they're wearing pigtails because of like disturbing reasons. And it's not like I don't think we should never wear pigtails again, but it also is just making me quite like screwed up about it all, and now I'm like I don't want to wear pigtails anymore. um yeah, so I'm really struggling with this like paradoxical area in terms of like experientially. I'm like, well, what am I supposed to do? Because you are still valued like following fascist beauty standards and more like these. This is like the cultural expectations. The whole idea of like there was a specific way that I did my eyes, which emphasizes how big they were, and then again when you look at it through this lens, it's kind of fucking weird. Um, yeah, and it's not like, but yeah, I just think there's like a middle ground maybe, and like if anyone has any tips about how to do this or how to like navigate this internally, that would be really helpful. But I do think it's really ingrained in our culture, and like it's just hard to work out what to do really. Um, yeah, and hopefully this is all just coincidence, but I don't think it is. Well, there's certainly fascist beauty standards that are out there. I do think there are things we can do, to subvert this. For example, there's a really great fashion, what are they called? Like fashion phenomena where you decenter the male gaze, where you like cover up quite a lot and you're not there to just sexualize yourself for the male gaze, which is, I like that. I like that a lot. I'm not saying we should have to cover up or anything, but it's just nice to see these kind of movements where you're fighting against that. A lot of the time I do like videos where I'm not like wearing makeup and I'm not like fitting those beauty standards, and I'm doing that on purpose, even though I know that it means that my videos will do worse, like fine. Um, and I'm not saying like I'm still gonna, I'm still gonna wear makeup and I'm still gonna do what I am like I want to do with my body and stuff. I just think, yeah, we have to start thinking about this stuff and like doing work against these horrible fascist beauty standards. And then obviously it kind of goes into other things like the obsession with weight, the obsession with, counting calories and all this stuff. Like, why isn't like a mother's belly or like a birth person's belly after birth sexualized? Or like, how weird is it that we sexualize flat tummies? It's so fucking weird, man. Like, again, if you have a flat tummy, I'm not trying to say that's horrible, but like most people that aren't teenagers don't have that. Like, and it's not achievable really unless you, yeah. Anyway, it's really it's my least favorite area to talk about. Like, yes, this area, and I think it's important as well. So yeah, it's just quite screwed up, and it makes me really mad that like this world has done that. All the people in power have done that, and I think the film, The Substance, shows this, and it shows how like violent it is to people's bodies and femme bodies in particular, as well as like, yeah, really fucked up. So anyway, that's just my introductory ramblings, because I'm really struggling with it. Like, how do you face this in life when I've just mentioned all those things? Like, yeah, it's just confusing. It's very confusing and fucked up. So anyway, help would be appreciated. Thank you.